and welcome to Entrepreneur Connect Dialogues, where we amplify African excellence, and by that I mean we showcase how entrepreneurs, people are doing fantastic things on our continent, who are impacting the continent socially, creating jobs and just disrupting the way things have been happening up until now. So my guest today is Catherine Lund, who is going to share with us what her business journey is all about and how she is assisting us on the African continent with job creation and impacting socially. So thank you for joining us today, Catherine, and welcome.
Pleasure. Yes. Well, thank you, Deshun, and thank you for the opportunity to be on the show. The initiative is wonderful to be able to showcase how entrepreneurship can create jobs in our continent. So my own personal industry is I am a nurse by training, but I currently work in the clinical research space conducting clinical trials. So very much a science-based consultancy kind of a based business.
That's amazing. So that's quite interesting. You come from a nursing background.
Correct,
and
yes.
That spurred you on to becoming entrepreneurial. How did that come about?
So it's not really a spurred thing. I always refer to myself as an accidental entrepreneur. I knew nothing very much about business. So the age that I am, it's entrepreneurship is a little bit more newer than then. But I just through a sequence of events got exposed into our clinical research industry. The industry itself is quite sort of new or niche in our country. But I started a business basically because I started to have children and I wanted to have some flexibility, and it grew from there. So it was never an intention to start a business. It was an intention always. My focus always has been, my primary business is to raise my children. I have 4 of them. So it was more of an accidental entrepreneurship, how it started.
Yes. So what was that first opportunity that got you started, or what's the thing that you identified to say someone has to do something about that?
So I remember a clear thought, which was quite random. So there's a global sort of a Lund company for whom I used to work. And I was working for them, and as I said, I just had my first child, and she was a baby. I remember walking through these offices and thinking, well, if they can do this, so can I. And it was the most strangest thought.
Yes.
But then through the circumstances of my need, so I would like to have been a bit more flexible for my child, I thought the first opportunity I get, I will do this. And I got a 3-month contract. And I did. I left and I started. And
wow.
That's how it worked.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you've been in business for?
So that was in 1999. So in terms of the evolution of the business, it's hard to kind of say this is the start date.
Yes.
But in terms of me providing an income for myself and for others, I could say 99.
Wow, so that's about 17, 18 years
A lot of years now.
ago.
When you add it up, it gets a little scary.
Absolutely. So that's amazing, which means you've gone through all the different things that one goes through as an entrepreneur. And so obviously there have been some challenges. Can you think of 2 or 3 challenges you'd like to share with us?
So I think one of the things I do now is I like to try and realize that I did a very long way around. You know, you've seen some of these diagrams of entrepreneurs who go over a mountain and round and down. I think I've done all that.
Yes.
So I decided to not beat myself up on that, but to use it as learnings for others. And if you can take a shortcut and not do my mistakes, then please learn from me.
Please give me an example of one of your mistakes.
So, I mean, the normal cash flow contractual issues, I think I was quite business naive. So, being taken advantage, I think, in certain circumstances. I'm quite an optimistic kind of person, so you hire staff and then contracts are cancelled. Definitely cash flow problems. I had a partner and it went a little bit south. That issues, I don't know. All of that. So you learn as you go along.
So the business compliance side is such an important element of starting out in a business.
Yes.
Any other lessons you've learned?
Staff management, definitely a huge one. How do you, I don't know if one can say this, but deal with the crying staff members.
Yes.
So one has to be empathetic, but yet tough. Where do you draw the line? That was also a huge learning for me as an individual. I grew in terms of confidence, knowing to do that. The first few years, I was scared of my staff.
Yes.
And you can't be. So those kind of evolutions.
Yeah. So to move from being an employee where you always had a boss to answer to being that actual boss and now having to manage people differently.
A key thing also that I learned is that you have to realize what you're good at.
Yes.
When you start as an entrepreneur, you are expected to do everything, and yet you may not be good at things. So I think I suffered a little bit. Reputational is perhaps not the right word, but it took longer because I wasn't able. I didn't start with capital. I just started with a piece of work. So you weren't necessarily able to hire the HR guy or the finance guy or the admin guy or whatever. And so that takes a while to solidify.
Sure.
But when you find your space, then the business grows from there.
Great. And so where would you say your business is now?
So I think, I've I think I defined the starting official point as, okay, now I have a business in about 2008. I have
Wow.
a partner, Selo Sehludi. He's my work husband. So I have 2 of those. So I would say we're stable. I've got 15 employees at the moment. But on that note, I was also kind of thinking, so that's not enormous, but it's not tiny. But looking back, I've employed 60 people over the years. And our industry is one which, once offered an opportunity, people can go and do outstanding things. So we pride ourselves on that, to say,
Yeah.
we'll give you a chance. If you don't stay for us forever, that's fine. But we will train you, we will expose you, and you're welcome to fly.